NPOs on social stock exchange is being organized by ISMI Social Auditor Organization with a view to creating awareness amongst the NPOs and for capacity building of social impact assessors. We have with us two lead speakers, Mr. Rakesh Tayal, sir, a social impact assessor. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
And Mr. Kaushal, sir, from National Stock Exchange, NSE. Ma'am, welcome, sir.
Thanks a lot. Yeah.
So, just to set the context of discussion, in the budget speech of 2019, our Honorable Finance Minister mooted the idea of social stock exchange under the regulatory ambit of the SEBI for listing social enterprises and voluntary organizations working for the realization of social welfare objective so that they can raise capital as equity, debt, or as units like a mutual fund. So, Social Stock Exchange got operational on 25th July 2022. The NPOs can connect with SSCs in two stages. First is registration and second is listing. So, in this webinar, we are going to talk about registration of NPOs on SSC. So, now I request to Mr. Rakesh Tayal, sir, to kindly share with all of us the evaluation advantages and the process of registration on SSC.
Thank you,
Over to you.
Tanishka. Thank you, Tanishka. Would you able to hear me, everyone? I see in the comments that there
Yes,
is
sir.
some voice is breaking. Yeah, thank you, Shishiraji, for confirming. Thank you, Daniel. So we are starting the. Thank you, Tanishka, for the nice introduction and for the capacity building of the NGOs to have the fundraising platform to facilitate the fundraising from the NSC, SSC. Our finance minister has seen dream to have the social stock exchanges wherein NGOs can come and depict their projects. They can list their projects also. But before listing the project on the NGO, just like NPO, IPO, it is just like the IPO that NGO can bring on the social stock exchange and raise the funds. So stock exchange is a facilitator of providing a platform to the NGOs to demonstrate their strength and depict their credibility, increase the transparency. In the next 15-20 minutes, I will discuss about the benefits for the NGOs to get it registered and list on the stock exchange and what is the eligibility criteria for the NGOs to get the list on the stock exchange. Then I will request Mr. Kaushal to take you through the practical process or practical issues in the registration of the as a NPOs at the SSC. With this, I am sharing my screen. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So starting with the benefit of the registration of the social stock exchange. Social stock exchange, as I mentioned, that it is the part of the main NSC, main board NSC. And like SMEs are registered as a separate exchange in the NSC, same way our NGOs can be listed on the NSC, National Stock Exchange, as well as Bombay Stock Exchange. It is a separate segment in the main part of the exchange only, where you have to get the issue of the zero coupon, zero principal bonds the donors will get in their demat account. But to go through that process of listing, first requirement is to get the your NGO registered on the social stock exchange. The benefit for registering on the social stock exchange is one, you will get access to the capital which is lying in the country. You are transparent. The process of registration itself is a scrutiny, and only the eligible NGOs who have some sound track records can come on the stock exchanges. And that establish your credibility that you are registered on the stock exchange. It will not only give you the direct benefit of fundraising, but also indirect benefit when you demonstrate your NGO somewhere with the corporates to get the CSR fund or to reach out any donor Even if you are not listing, it will give you it will increase the credibility if you are registered on the stock exchange. Primary criteria or primary objective to register on the stock exchange is to get list also on the stock exchange, to bring your IPO, that I call in the normal language, in the layman language. And the IPO can be bring for 50 lakh rupees project only, project wise. It is not the NGO is going to list on the stock exchange. Your project can be listed on the stock exchange. Visibility of the NGO will increase. Your NGO, as soon as you are registered on the stock exchange, you are available on a national platform. Your documents, your NGO history, everything will be available on the stock exchange platform. So it will increase your visibility nationwide. Anyone can reach out to you and compare your organization with the other organization registered on the stock exchange in the same thematic area. Reach will be wider. You can reach to a wider audience or the target donors. You can pull the talent also, because currently the main issue with the NGOs is the talent pool. So you can attract the talent, because once your NGO is listed on the stock exchange or registered on the stock exchange, it is just like a listed company. Because SSC has different criteria and reporting has to be done. That is an additional compliance burden, but I will not take it as a burden. I will say that it will increase your efficiency. It will bring the accountability towards the organization to do the work in a proper manner. So it will increase the good governance. It will increase your efficiency and accountability to the mass reach. And when you are comparable, because currently there are the Section 8 companies, trusts, and the societies who have to publish their results in their own, under their own act. Now, after registering on the SSC, there is a common reporting format and the impact reports that you have to submit, which the donor can easily compare. So that will be the benefits of the registration at the SSC. And the one most benefit is that you are eligible to list your projects on the social stock exchange. By listing your project means the project can be of 50 lakh rupees as a minimum, and donors can subscribe it 1,000 rupees per unit. But you have to demonstrate your strength, your history on the stock exchange, through the stock exchange. Stock exchange is a media where you can present yourself, present your strength, present your work, present your efficiency to the nation and to the wide donors who can come to your organization's stand. This is today we are discussing on the registration, but as the main objective of the registration is the listing your project and raise the funds. For that also, you will get the long-term investors. You will have a market differentiation than the other NGOs. You will unlock the government and institutional supports, because towards the government also you can mention that you have listed the projects on the registered on the social stock exchange, enhancing your credibility. Today, most of the NGOs credibility is known by FCRA certificate or the ATG certificate. So it will give you the edge over those NGOs, 3 lakh NGOs who are registered under the ATG. Just to give you a heads up, you might be aware that there are around 33 lakhs NGOs in India. Out of this, only about 3 lakhs have been registered under the ATG, and only 2 lakhs are on the DARPAN portal. Out of this, only 70,000 NGOs are having the FCRA certificate. Now, there are 140 organizations which are organized, registered on the NSC or BSC. So it means out of 33 lakhs, your organization will be one of 150 or 140 organizations who chosen to register on the stock exchange and will become the nationwide, and maybe in your thematic area like education, health, poverty, there are 16 thematic area which will make you eligible towards registration on the stock exchange. So there can be only handful of the organizations, and any donor who want to work in that area can attract to your organization. That you have to market properly. Now, what is the eligibility criteria for the NGOs? I have given the benefits first, and now I am coming towards the eligibility criteria. So this eligibility or the registration on the stock exchange is covered under the SEBI regulations. 292E defines the eligibility criteria. So stock exchange is normally governed by the SEBI Act, and in that we have the rules, and they have specified the criteria. So first and foremost criteria is that the social enterprise or the NPO has to establish the primacy of social intent. You have the social intent in your MOA, AOA, and there should be at least one of the activities that is defined in the regulations. So there are 16 activities defined in the regulations. Your MOA or AOA cover one or more of those activities to be eligible on the stock exchange. After that, your target segment should be underserved or less privileged population segment. Or the regions you are performing or you are giving should be the low performance as per the development priorities of the central or the state government of that state. That is the another area criteria for the eligibility what the stock exchange is looking at. They are taking your 3-year audited financials, whether you are a company, a Section 8 company, or the trust or the society, wherein it should be there that at least 67% of the activity should be the eligible activity to the target population. Target population means underserved or the less privileged population. Or the cities where you are working should be the have a lower performance development priority in the central or the state government. Your 67% of the immediate preceding 3-year average revenue should be coming from these eligible activity only. Or the 67% of the expenditure to be covered under through this target population only. So these are the criteria where 67% of the activities should be from the eligible activity to the target population. Corporate foundations, any political or religious organizations, professional trade associations, and housing company except affordable housing are not eligible for the social enterprise or to be registered on the stock exchange. So these are the basic requirements that about the activities of the NGO, that these should be carried by the NGO. Who can register? They can be the trust under the Societies Registration Act 1960. They can be trust under the Indian Trust Act 1880. It is a company under Section 8 of the Companies Act, or a charitable trust registered under the Public Trust Statute of the relevant state. So these 4 type of NGOs can be registered under the SEBI. But they should have the valid registration certificate for at least 12 months from the date of application. Second, they should also have the registration certificate under 12A or 12AA, that is the income tax, that should be valid for at least next 12 months. Valid IT PAN number should be there, and your organization should be minimum 3 years old. So these are the basic criteria. So one criteria is the activity and the target segment, target population you are serving. Second criteria is your constitution, that you can be a Section 8 company, you can be a society, you can be a trust, and you should have a valid certificate of registration and valid certificate of 12A. So you should be registered under Income Tax Act also, and that certificate should be valid for next 12 months. You are a 3-year-old organization. So once you are registered, so these are the eligibility criteria, scrutinized criteria, that is sizable or the old organization who have a proven track record is going to register on the stock exchange. Your minimum spending in the previous year should be at least 50 lakh rupees and fundraising experience of rupees 10 lakh. That is the financial criteria which are looked after by the stock exchange. That is the minimum criteria for the eligibility, so that a sizable organization should register and on the stock exchange. So these are the another requirements. So there are two types of requirement. One is on your activity. These are the activities backed by the SDG, but they bring it in the SEBI ICDR regulations. The 16 activities that can be related to hunger, poverty, malnutrition, healthcare, promoting education, employability, livelihoods, gender equality, women empowerment, ensuring environmental sustainability, climate change if you are working, then national heritage, art and culture, if you are promoting any rural sports, nationally recognized supports, if you are working in the supports area, if you are the incubators also, or promoting the strengthen, supporting the other platforms that strengthen the non-profit ecosystem in fundraising and capacity building. It can be a slum area development, disaster management, or the promotion of financial inclusion. It can be facilitating access to land and property assets for disadvantaged communities. So there is a wide range of activities given. And if you're NGO, normally all the charity activities are covered under the SEBI regulation in one or other points. So this is the basic criteria. Second criteria is mentioned about the constitution. So the stock exchange is scrutinizing or you before registration on two grounds. One, on the activities you are performing, target segment you are doing. Also, we are seeking for the impact what you are creating on the society in your last projects. Sample basis you have to share that also, so that only a filtered organization should come up on the stock exchanges, so that when the people will compare the organizations, there should be a good organizations pool will be available for the capacity building in the stock exchange. So, though these are, I will just brief and then hand over it to Mr. Kaushal, who is from the NSC SSC segment and more expert on the process. But you have to register on the stock exchange portal. You can do it at your own also, and it's very easy to file the application, and stock exchange officials are very supportive in this case to get it registered, to help them to handhold you on the registration part.
Thank you,
If any
sir.
query or documentation is there, then you can come out with the queries of the SSC, submit on the portal. Registration fees is only 5,000 rupees, which the NSC is charging. You have to sign the registration agreement. Once your documents and scrutiny has been okay, then you have to sign the agreement with the social stock exchange. This is the brief registration checklist that you should have the detail of note of the activities of the NPO. About your governing body of the NPO, you have to give the name, experience, designation, contact details, your shareholding pattern in case of Section 8 company or the trust. You have to give the governing body structure. You have to give your registration certificate, which is valid for the at least 12 months, and you should be 3 years old also. Then you have to submit your MOA, AOA bylaws so that they can compare the activities which you are mentioning, whether these are authorized by your memorandum or the bylaws or the constitution of the act. As I mentioned, you have to also submit the 12A certificate, which is valid for at least 12 months from the date of application. That is valid ATG registration. You have to share last 3-year audited financials and the annual report with the fund flow statement, so that they can see what the funds you have spent in the immediate previous year, in which activities, and what your fundraising experience. You have to give the resolution of the governing body of the willingness of the registration to the stock exchange. And then we will submit the confirmation from the NPO as per the format prescribed with the NSC. Confirmation from the statutory auditor. This is the one certificate that social stock exchange require from your statutory auditor only. Rest you can do at your own. Website address of the entity, obviously you should have a website address, copy of PAN card, Darpan portal ID, governing body. Some of these are the optional, but many of these are the mandatory, normally looked after by the social stock exchange to establish or to supervise your credibility. Because once they are getting you registered on the stock exchange, you will be among the handful of the NGOs who are registered on the social stock exchange to become the part of nation building. That is the main registration checklist. So with this, I am open for the Q&A till now, or we can move ahead and over to Mr. Kaushal to take it forward for the registration process. And then together we can take the question at the end of the session. Yes,
sir.
Mr. Parag Bharat has, Bhagatji has one answer question about the benchmarking and comparison. How would we donors be able to compare the social impact report of NPO providing food versus NPO of travel? Sir, as I mentioned, there are the thematic areas, and when donor want to give the donor want keep providing the food, I want to give the livelihood or providing that, so I will compare the NGO who is providing the same thematic area. That
Okay.
will become the easy. So
Okay.
first I will select as a donor in which area I want to donate. That is easy for the donors also, right? So they will bring the two NGOs are that's why I mentioned there are about 140 NGOs registered, right? There are different thematic areas. So I will find out that these are the thematic areas. Only 4 or 5 registrations are there, or 10 registrations are there in the providing food or the tribal area work. There they have to see what is the spend they are making and with the impact they are creating on the life. So which NGO is creating more impact with the less spending, so efficiency will come up. And I will lean to that organization. And when you see the DFRD documents, they have bring a lot of details about the KPI measurements. And that's where I come out there is a efficiency built in of the NGOs, that who is more efficient is more transparent.
Thank you so much, Rakesh. That helps a lot.
Thank you, Bharat.
Yeah, so thank you, sir, for covering most of the part that I wanted to speak on. And just wanted to add one more thing to the question asked by Paragji. Let's see, one of the advantages of social stock exchanges also talks about price discovery, because if projects and their costing and everything comes on a public platform over a period of time when so many projects are there in one area. So say for example, as a donor, I see that I care for girls education, right? And there I see that there are so many NPOs, they have raised fund in the same domain. So that gives us a sort of understanding about the unit cost of the same nature of the project. And once there are multiple projects or numerous projects on the platform, just not donors but everybody, in fact NPOs who are writing their project, they will also be mindful of putting their cost, and they will also be mindful of how they can create synergy and different sort of convergence across different activities, whether it's like inputs and their outputs, and that is how they will bring out the best outcome. Because at the end we call social stock exchange as outcome based philanthropy, right? So when we talk about outcome, certainly we can have a smart activities and inputs, and that's how, like, over a period of time this platform will establish a sort of benchmarking criteria, price discovery mechanism. And price discovery is all based on benchmarking, right? That how much
Yes,
do
sir.
you think is the cost of giving employment to one youth in this area, right? So gradually it will build up, it will take some time. And as Rakesh ji rightly said, that many information, most of the information to take a call on whether a donor wants to donate, or they will be like, if the cause is lucrative enough or kind of well designed project is there. So most of the things are there in the public platform. They also get some time to write their comments on that. 21 days public commenting period is there for same thing. and intermittently, meanwhile, regulatory team also goes through all those documents, and they share their queries and questions and all those stuff. So that's how, like, overall it's a kind of combined effort, and same time, a part of ecosystem building, and over the period of time this will also be established.
Thank you so much, Kaushalji. As always, your
Yeah,
insights are very.
thanks. And I'm glad that many people I know, I have kind of known faces in this call, and I'm happy to share about Social Stock Exchange. And must share that at NSE, we had started it on, in Feb, like 22nd Feb of, or 22nd Feb of 2023. So we have just completed 3 years. And just to summarize all those things, you may have seen one of the social media videos, but same time, I would like to play one video for the interest of everybody, and that will sum up most of the things, like, our journey in 90 seconds. So I'm just going to play that video. Hope it plays. I'm sharing my screen. Can you please enable my screen? Uh, Screen sharing, yeah. If
Done,
you
sir,
can
done.
just enable. Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so I'm just going to share this. Hope this is visible, right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm just playing this.
3 years ago, a vision was set in motion. Here's a look back at how it became reality.
Hope you can hear the voice as well, if somebody can confirm.
Yes, sir.
Perfect.
Yes.
Thanks.
The vision shared by our Honorable Finance Minister, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman, during the 2019 budget session, to bring capital markets closer to the masses and support inclusive growth and financial inclusion, has now taken shape through the Social Stock Exchange. From vision to framework, from consultation to approval, the Social Stock Exchange was built with trust at its core. And then came action. Non-profits stepped forward, and a new ecosystem began to take shape. Today, the Social Stock Exchange reflects real scale and impact, spanning sectors such as education, health, livelihoods, climate, and culture. SSE has enabled one-click donations through UPI and ASBA, allowing contributions to social projects starting from 1,000 rupees. Beyond fundraising, SSE is building an ecosystem through awareness, capacity building, and collaboration. The next phase focuses on deeper impact, stronger measurement, and wider participation. The journey of the Social Stock Exchange has just begun, and we look forward to scaling this success further.
Yeah, so this video may have given you some glimpse that what kind of journey we have just covered. And certainly, like, initial first year was a kind of formative year only, where things were, a bit of, like, all kind of as per the regulation, where a lot of things have changed till by now, because initially you must be aware that the minimum contribution size was 2 lakh rupee, but now it's as low as 1,000 rupees, and it is promoting 1,000, I mean, that retail philanthropy. And must share with you, let me share one more screen, and maybe, like, you will like that how Social Stock Exchange is literally, you can see that active. So I'm just sharing my NSE screen. And this is good time to share, because last time when I was speaking with all of you, that time no issuance was open. Right now, Unnati has opened their third project issuance, and how it looks like. I want to share the exact, like, how it looks like on the platform. So I'm just opening that. Just a second. These are very important, because you can understand about this through the different documents also, but the point is how it works. Probably this will give you enough motivation to come on this platform, because if we see As Rakesh ji also talked about the number of NPOs, and the biggest kind of constraint or challenge that we all are facing is our identity, despite doing a lot of work. So if one NGO is based out of Nashik, then maybe some catchment areas are aware about their name and work, right? Every time they have to introduce themselves from scratch. But this gives you a platform where you can create a kind of nationwide visibility, right? So this platform also gives you kind of indirect benefit of all these visibility and marketing yourself if you are doing a great job. I don't know why. Yeah, it is here. I'm just sharing my screen one more time. Yeah. Can you see my screen, please?
Not yet, sir.
Yeah. So here at IPO, once you go here,
Screen is not there, Kaushalji.
Not yet, sir.
Asha, screen is not
Could not
here.
see.
Just a second. Can you see this now?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Perfect. So this is home screen, and then you go to IPO. So you can see there are different instruments here: IPO, OFS, other offers, NCB, and all. So here there is a ZCZP SSC. So once you click on this, you will see all the past issuances since the time when we have enabled ASBA. And since then, all the issuances, their information is here. So you can go through all their documents here as well, the final documents, how their parameters are made, and all those stuff. So current, you can see SGBS Unnati Foundation. And you can see that they have opened the issuance. Issue is 2026 Feb, and they're closing this on 9th March, which is on Monday. I think it's on Monday, right? And then it's active right now. They are going to collect 50 lakh rupee. So once we click on this, so we will see all the information, how it works. So one is issue information. Yeah, it's opening. Yeah, so here you can see that the symbol, how it works, series, what is the series. Then issue period is like this. Post issue modification period is till 10th March. So this is required because you have to check that all the demat accounts are correct. All the people who have donated their account has money. So after this only you can say that okay, so this is the net contribution or this is the net donation received in the escrow account. Then you can see cutoff time for unit UPI mandate and all those things, minimum application size, IPO market timing, and everything. And here you can see offer document, the final offer document you can download and study. Sample application forms also are here, so that if somebody is cutting the check, because many times what happens, many donors are a bit apprehensive of doing it online, right? Because there are so many old age donors, and I can relate that to my grandfather and all. They don't believe in kind of digital banking, and they believe in going to bank, writing a withdrawal form and then withdrawing the money and all, and using checkbook and all the stuff. So this is how, if some donors, they want to cut the check, they have to fill this form and they have to get this done. So live parameters also you can download and see how this is written. So a lot of things are there. Most important thing, you can see the second column, the demand graph. So here you can see that till now 5 lakhs, this is all retail contribution, by the way. And maximum of this 5 lakhs is organic donation, because right now fires and different ASBA bankers, they're their brokerage bank. I mean, like ICICI Securities, their brokerage wing, and same time, like we call them 3-in-1 brokers. That they have bank, they have demat, and they have this trading facility as well. When we talk about Zerodha and Grow kind of different discount brokers, they are non-3-in-1 because they do not have bank. I'm just trying to keep it as simple as possible. So you can see that out of 550 lakhs till now, still we have 2 days to go, but more than 10% of fundraising is done through retail funding. And this is all, this is organic. So if 10% is organic, just imagine that right now only Zerodha and Fires are there. If others like Grow, Angel One, and other top brokers joins in, then what will be the scenario? So this will really, like, this has all the potential to democratize philanthropy. So I just wanted to showcase how this works and how when one issuance can go through all these things, and you can see how it is working, how it is actually gaining that traction of fundraising and all. So this is how it is. And certainly, like, our discussion today is mostly around registration, right? So I will come back to the topic. And nonetheless, like, now I don't need to list down all the benefits of social stock exchange. Probably we should be more action oriented now, that if I want to come on the social stock exchange, what are the actual steps, and how we basically apply for registration, how we get this done. So for that also, I'm not sure if I mean, everybody has gone through our social media and all. So I'm going to, like, give you a kind of another exposure through a video only, that how you sign up on our NEEPS portal. So basically, one more time, I'm going to share my screen here, and you can see that when I'm talking about NEEPS portal, how does it look like? Just a second. Yeah. So if you see this, so basically we go to homepage. We see there is a list here, and you can see here NEEPS portal. Hope this is visible, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So here it is, NEEPS portal. Once we open this, you can just a second. Oh, yeah, so this is the NEEPS portal I'm talking about. So here you have to do all sorts of, like, different things. So you go on the new registration, and then you see that there are different purpose. So for IPO, debt, and all those also, like, you have to sign up here only. So you can see SSC NPO here, and then you fill all the details. So what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to run you through this, because we have already created one video, and that will define you in a very systemic process, that how it works completely. So I'm going to play that video as well. Yeah.
Welcome to the National Stock Exchange.
Just a second. I'm sharing that. Yeah, if it is visible now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm just playing this.
Welcome to the National Stock Exchange of India Limited. Here is a step-by-step guide for NGOs to apply for SSE registration through the NEAPS portal of the National Stock Exchange of India. To begin, visit the NEAPS portal at neapsindia.com/new listing code B/login. Enter your login ID and password to access your account. Once logged in, select Issue from the homepage. A drop-down will appear. From the drop-down menu, select Social Stock Exchange and further select Registration Application. A registration application form shall appear. The name and the type of entity will be pre-filled. Fill in the required details. As per Regulation 292E2A of CBICDR Regulations 2018, the entity is required to select the appropriate area of work from the drop-down menu based on the nature of its activities. Next, under Statutory Auditor's Information, fill the details of the statutory auditor's phone number, email ID, and firm registration number. After filling these details, click Next to proceed. In the Checklist Details tab, upload the following documents as per the checklist. Annexure 1, Registration Certificate of the NPO, MOA or Trust Deed or Bylaws or Constitution. 12A Certificate, ATG Certificate, Audited Financial Statements, Resolution from the Governing Body, Annexure 2, Annexure 3, Registration Agreement, additional attachments if any. Once all documents are uploaded, click Next to continue. In the Promoter and Promoter Group tab, the entity needs to fill in the details of the applicant entity. Select Add, a pop-up will appear. Select Type, a drop-down shall appear. Now select Applicant Company. Fill in the details including the name, PAN number, address of the entity, and click on Add to proceed. Click Next to proceed. Now enter the details of your governing body members, including their name, PAN number, and address. After uploading all member details, click Next. Click Save as Draft to review your application. Once ready, click Submit. Upon submission, in System Details tab, you'll receive an application number for future reference and tracking. The exchange will review your application and respond within the specified timelines. For assistance, please refer to the general instructions and notes provided in the SSE registration checklist. For contact details, kindly use the Contact Us option available on the NEAPS portal. Thank you for choosing Social Stock Exchange of NSE.
Yeah, so just wanted to show this so that you will have a kind of entire process of events that happen, that take place while you are submitting your submission. After this, what happens? Now you don't have to write to that portal's email because now you have my email ID. I will share that. You can give me a call as well. And once you submit that inquiry letter, only you have been provided the person's email ID and their contact number, just in case if you have to discuss something. So a lot of things are there. We are all here to provide you all sorts of hand holding and support if required, because we understand that it's still a kind of co-learning happening where both the worlds are learning from each other, the capital market and social sector, and it's happening in a very dynamic pace. I must share because the kind of changes and are happening in the world of social stock exchange in last 2 3 years, and in all the kind of led by SEBI as well. Because if we see from 2 lakh to 1,000 rupees, or there are so many other changes also, right? So things are going on, and there's so many other things also are yet to come. So Paragji also asked about CSR thing, right? So CSR is yet to be introduced, and we are highly anticipated, but anticipating that. But let's see when it gets introduced, and I believe that after that there won't be any looking back. But still, the kind of traction we are getting through retail, and we can call it a pilot when just two trading members and other ASBA members, they can bring in 10% of the retail funding, and all organic, where NPO is not even aware that who are these donors. I mean, these are not their known donors. Obviously they get to know that who has donated, but they are not the known ones. So just imagine when even though you kind of donors and every citizen is aware of social stock exchange. And from that, at that front also, we are doing a lot of things, and we are also trying to create a sort of human-centered, design-based social and behavior change communication plan and strategy. And you can very easily connect that with mutual funds IEA, right? When it was introduced, I mean, newly introduced mutual funds and all, where people are fearing of investing their money in that, right? Now you see everybody is doing that. Same way, the recent one is insurance liya to sahi kiya. I think that is uh, that messaging, right? And that has also changed the kind of thought process of people towards taking insurance, right? Because many people do not take it because they call it expenses rather than prevention of or securing your future just in case if something happens. So same way, like, we are also thinking of creating that drive and campaigns where people will will be nudged, we can say, that how giving is as important as making money as well. And 1,000 rupees is nothing, when I care for some cause, and I want to contribute. And this kind of platform ensures that your even the smallest amount is creating some change or making some change or creating some impact, right? So that's overall, like, the SSC thing. And once you go on our website, you can see a detailed guidebook also that gives you all sorts of information to process, hand holding and everything. And you can go through that. Our website has enough, like, kind of documents, draft fundraising document to final fundraising document. So checklist is one that will give you some sort of, like, headers. And you might be wondering that what to write under that, maybe, like, some of the headers. But once you go through those documents, you will be able to understand that how it is populated. So a lot of things are there, a lot of stuff is there, a lot of things have been talked out about social stock exchange. The only part is missing is diving deep, understanding about this, coming on the platform, and testing it by yourself, right? Because until and unless you don't get into that, and if that information does not get into, like, action, it's just about talking and talking, but not once you experience this, basically your first hand experience will talk a lot about this, right? You'll be able to see the real challenges and all those things. You will understand that what are the kind of, like, while registration or, like, listing your project, while pitching your project to different donors, seeing rejections, some people are saying yes to your project. That will also give you some sort of understanding that how designing your project is very important, how you need to work on your pitching skills. Because before this you are just pitching your project to other person or other organization. Here you are doing it to masses. So a lot of, like, your approaches, your skill sets might feel challenged. And that's the beauty of this, because once you get into this, you will find a way and you will see that how you'll be able to raise the fund as well. So this is overall. If you have any questions, let's keep it interactive so that all the questions flow, and then I or Rakesh ji, like, speak on that, answer to those questions. And that will be, like, kind of human centered only, or kind of participation centered. Other than, I will just keep on giving you monologues which may or may not be useful. So yeah, I think there are some questions flowing. Yeah, so how does SSC ensure that the funds donated by investors are actually used for the intended social purpose? So yeah, so when one NPO intends to raise fund on social stock exchange, they come up with their well detailed, like, project design where all the KPIs and outcome indicators are there. And basis that, they invite all those donors or attract donation, and let's assume that they get funded, their project is listed. Then as an NPO, they have certain disclosures, that they have to make every 3 months. They have to talk about their financial utilization, and every year, like, they have to submit their annual impact assessment report that will talk about their achievements and all. So that's how, like, they ensure that kind of, like, they achieve those numbers, and they share the impact assessment report, and which is on exchanges platform. So as a single donor also, like, even if I have contributed 1,000 rupees, or if at all I have not even contributed, all the impact assessment reports are there. So that will give me a kind of sense that whether the project has succeeded to achieve its outcomes or not, and that is how they will ensure that their money has been utilized. Yeah, so yeah, very good question, because when we were talking about this, we somehow missed the for-profit part because we were so much towards not-for-profit organizations. So yeah, so social stock exchanges for both not-for-profit and for-profit. So we started, like, when we started this, we focused on not-for-profit organizations. The point is, the reason why, because anyways for-profit organizations have other platforms to raise capital, like our mainboard IPO or SME emerge. Those are the platforms where they have already been doing it, even if they are impact, organizations. But here, like, on social stock exchange, those impact organizations or for-profit social enterprises, they can raise fund. Those will be not like, through ZZP, but those will be through equity, right? And they can, depending on their eligibility, if they fall, if they are eligible for SMEs or main board, accordingly they can list their company there. They don't have to register themselves because it's completely basis main board and SMEs process. The only difference is, once they say that they are for-profit social enterprises and they want to take a kind of tag of social stock exchange also alongside, they have to submit one social impact assessment report that will say that, okay, so since last, like, 3 years, what all impact numbers we have achieved, or whatever we have done, even if it is for profit motive, they are, like, these are the impact numbers, these are the communities or socioeconomic, like, uh, clusters we have reached out to and impacted. So that sets that the primacy of social intent that they are doing apart from profit making. There is one difference in the eligibility criteria. Here they have to also prove that 67% or two-thirds of their activities fall under those 16, kind of 16 activities that we had been talking about. And what will happen, like, once they come up with this proposition, then they will be given one social tag or symbol. So there on the website, if you see, it will be kind of tag will be given that they are for-profit social enterprises. And why they want this? Because certainly this has one additional, compliance of submitting that social impact assessment report. They will do it because after taking this route, they have a high potential of attracting all those impact funders who might care a less about their profits, but they also care for the cause. So those people might become the anchor funder for those kind of organizations. So that is one benefit. And I must share that the first for-profit social enterprise called Rays of Belief, they filed their draft, this draft red hearing prospectus, we call it, to SEBI, and they have received the approval on 31st of December 2025. And soon we will see that the first for-profit social enterprises are going to list. What they do is, basically, they work for special children, autistic children, and they have so many products, and they are different. They do it in different schools and different centers across India. And they are top funders. Before this have been Lego Foundation and Zerodha. So they are going to raise 140 crore on social stock exchange, I mean, on main board, and they will also be tagged as a social for-profit social uh, uh, profit social enterprise. So that's one. Let's go to the next question. Yeah. Right. Okay. Can you please? Okay, sir, one practical project diagram and steps to initiate may be given. Surely. So basically, once you go on our website, the project diagram as such, I mean, when we talk about steps, I believe you're talking about the steps of fundraising. But I would suggest you that you please go through our, guidebook. I'm sharing the link of that here only. so that you don't need to. I'm just sharing it in the chat box. You can download it and you can study it. You will find all the diagrams there, and that will give you a better perspective. Then we are saying, I had a question from our last session. You had indicated that the first, if we okay,
So you already answered
yes,
that.
okay, perfect, perfect. Yeah, so can a foundation registered under IT for ATG benefits, focused on religious activities no? So basically, political, religious, and housing societies, these are not eligible. So as long as, even if it sounds like religious, but if they are doing something which is completely like, as per the mandate of NPO happening, and not targeting anything religious, they can certainly like, register their society or trust or Section 8 company and list their project. Uh, Annadanam to all who attend to religious gatherings. See, again, one more thing is there, like as long as it is not tagged as a religious, and as long as the project is also coming up with some outcomes, right, and how it is creating impact, that can be evaluated and seen. And if there is any sense of that that religion or political angle coming in between, certainly it can be discussed and seen that, even after registration also, because maybe one organization registers itself and maybe the project can be, directed towards some religious aspect or political aspects. That time also, like, it will be I mean, the NPO will be guided that, this is how it is indicating. So can you please uh, bring some non kind of eligible activities, area related projects. Big medium can, okay, for many organizations, big medium can use the CSR funds for the village girls, women. Okay. Who does UNDP? Okay, okay, social impact assessment. See, those are, they have different frameworks, like, when, say, for example, just not UNDP, UNESCO, but when we talk about other big I mean, donors, multilaterals like World Bank, or a kind of DFID. So they earmark some budget for their evaluation, and certainly, like, they have their own procurement policy to bring those research organizations, like there's so many, but like population council, or there are so many other, impact evaluation agencies also, and there's so many organizations also, they have their wing of impact evaluation, like Satwa Consulting or IP Global. So they actually pitch for all those evaluations, and basis their marking and all those things, they get the project. That's how it happens. Yeah, OPM is there, and so on. Then others can start this organization as one of the best entrepreneurs. India needs more than 1,000 such organizations, even when the big companies start there. That means at least 2,000 more numbers state can accommodate in the NGO sector. Okay. This is something like, this needs kind of lot of discussion, and I think we can have a kind of separate call on this, and we can certainly would like to discuss on this, and if you find that helpful, we can connect on this part. Can you please guide us on how do we renewal of? Okay, so normally what happens that once your 1 year is going to complete, then once you connect with us that our renewal is going to lapse, and we share all the renewal checklist also beforehand. You just have to fill that and submit with us, and there are certain documents with certain updates and all, and it's a very very simple process of renewal. So our organization has been registered for 2 years, but the listing was not completed earlier. Now we want to complete the renewal. Okay, okay. So now, I mean, there is a discussion that it can be 2 + 1 year. So let's connect separately, and we can see that if it falls under the primacy of renewal for the third year, then we will, I mean, take this forward. So I think all the question.
Kaushal,
Oh, can you? for the renewal of okay. Yeah,
Kaushal, hi.
Kavita.
Rakesh sir. I actually wanted to share my thoughts regarding the registration process. I actually feel that even before we jump into that 67% criteria, that is as per the SEBI ICDR regulation, I feel due importance should be given to minimum requirement criteria, because what I've seen is most of the NPOs, they do their homework on the 77% criteria. But in the process, they often overlook the minimum registration requirements, and sometimes they don't have the documents in place, the revenue and spending criteria, and that often puts the entire process of registration on hold. Because I've seen couple
So
of
I tell
NGOs.
you,
Yeah.
the 67% criteria has been removed in the last circular, if you see that. So it is only important or mandatory for the for-profit social enterprises. For not-for-profit, they don't have to worry about 67% criteria.
It has been removed?
Yeah. It's been some time. I think in the last webinar also I had mentioned this. I will share the link with you, separately. Yeah.
I think Rakesh sir did cover about the 67% criteria
No. So
in
that
his presentation.
67% is not there for NPOs now.
NPOs.
Yeah. So that's the new
Okay.
update. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you share the link of that?
Yeah. Surely I will do that. So I think we are done. So if there is any other question, you can just, yeah. So Rakesh ji, I think we are done here.
Thank you, Kaushal ji. Tanishka, are you there?
Yes, sir. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Thank you, sir. Thank you for taking
Thank you,
session.
Kaushal
Thank
ji.
you so much,
That
everyone.
was session, I believe
Thanks a
that.
lot.
But
I'm just
Sudhir
sharing
Sabat,
my email
Sudhir has also
ID
raised the hand.
also,
Sudhir
just
ji, do
in
you want to
case
say
you have
something?
to write. I've just written my email ID and contact details just in case if anybody has any questions. Yeah. I think we have some more. Okay. Oh, I had to share this guidebook as well. Just a second. I think there is some internet lag. So once you go on our social stock exchange page, you will find it there. No, it's working. Just a second. Just a second. I'm just sending it there. I think there is real lag. So yeah, so on our website also, or maybe like on Google only, once you type it like NSE Social Stock Exchange guidebook, it will appear there. Yeah. So thank you so much, everyone. I think it was useful, and I look forward to our action basically, and how we can actually help our country to make this platform successful, and also make it a kind of transparent and kind of credible platform that helps us achieve impact, and help our country achieve Viksit Bharat 1947, I would say. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you, Kaushal ji.
Thanks a
Thank
lot.
you very much.
Yeah.
Rakesh, sir, please share your details also in chats. I'm
Yeah,
not
sure.
I think Sudhir ji has to speak. He wants to say something.
Yes, Sudhir, sir. You wanted to say something?
I think by mistake it is. Yeah.
So now we close this webinar. Thank you so
Sure.
much for
Thanks.
joining, everyone.
Thanks.
And our organization continuously organize these kind of learning and capacity building sessions. So we look forward to have you all in our future programs. Thank you all once again.